An ode to my 20s. I'm not quite sure what my 20s are going to be. If you look on my Google Keep from high school, you'll see a note labeled 2019 that lists some fairly pressing prompts and goals. I'll name a few. Define happiness, find my passion, floss 3 times a week, be 145 pounds by the end of the year, and find your why, which is a great book by Simon Sinek, but not recommended for my overtly idealizing, philosophizing, overthinking 17-year-old Isaac. I'm a bit perplexed at why my 17-year-old self thought finding the definition of happiness was so urgent at my age, and to top it off, find my life's passion going into the age of 18 within the span of only a year. I mean, I guess it could be viewed from a perspective where my ponderings and questions are a bit admirable, but across the table, I find it a bit absurd that I was thinking about these. One example could be, I remember asking my high school's go-to substitute teacher, and I'm going to use a lot of adjectives here, a tall, lanky, whimsical-looking man with a pair of thick black glasses perched on his tall nose. What's your definition of happiness? I don't think much came of the conversation, but I do remember that I was late to my next class. So, now, it's 2022. We've been through a really peculiar 3 years, and now I'm 21, and it just seems that the first 3 years of my college really went by like a blink of an eye. As for the goals I mentioned earlier under the Google Keep sticky note, I hit my weight goal several years later. I still don't floss 3 times a week. Sorry to all my dental field friends, you're gonna have to give me a clean in later. And I have an idea as to what happiness might look or feel like. Oh, and I've grown to hate the word passion, and that'll come soon. Happiness. So, for the longest time, I had the most abstract and complicated attempt of a definition of this. But the more I overthink this and chat with friends, family, and strangers about it, it becomes more apparent that this is truly simple to me. Happiness for me might look like Wednesday night pasta and drink with friends, fresh green onions in my ramen, mid-morning sun pouring into a bathroom, a shower with natural light, experiencing something for the first time, a gorgeous flower, watching old people picnic at a park, moving to a big city by myself, cute cows, farmers being happy about their farm, your landlord offering you ripe plums, mutual enthusiasm at clouds, an L-shaped couch with plenty of room for friends, being on a mountain, sleeping under the stars amongst mosquitoes, trudging through the night with headlamps with no set campsite, a cold, crisp water. The little peach fuzz on someone's forearm, brown eyes, the smell of oranges, fishing, a bike, and the memories in between. As for passion, this is an overused buzzword that I tend to dislike. I'm not sure that there is anything as finding your passion, which is kind of what I was obsessing over my last year of high school. I would almost like to think that it's something that comes about your life, kind of like it just wells up from inside of you. Or that it's always been something that you couldn't ignore, that it's been with you. But the caveat here is that it's always changing, at least for me. And here's my thought why. Why would you be a disservice to yourself and decide that you are limited to one passion in a lifetime, perhaps even a decade or a year? My thought is that we're humans, and I don't think we like being stuck to one thing. This might make it sound like I have commitment issues. I truly hope that that's not the case, but I don't think that's the case, but bear with me. The last bullet point here is find your why. My 17-year-old self was and had not been equipped with the resources and tools that would have enabled me to find my why then. To start off with, I didn't know the world was big, and that there's more than medicine and engineering in this world, a world where I didn't know I could possibly be interested in. So, because of this, with a severely limited perspective on life, I had a pseudo why in my mind. And just kidding. I never figured it out. I never had a why. Which is the reason why the checkbox hadn't been filled out on my Google Keep on that sticky note to this day. Really, the only thing I really have to say with this is the fact that I truly envy those friends that decided at the age of 18 that they knew what they were going to dedicate their lives to, whether that be medicine, science, or even the pursuit of art. As for me, my thoughts are filled to the brim with what ifs, and maybe I was never made to decide from the early age. And maybe that's because that's what my 20s are for. Unlike most of my friends and family who's had more traditional avenues of transitioning over to a career, I have a hunch that my navigation to a career is probably going to be a bit different. I kind of hate not knowing that I'll have a great income or a work-life balance during some seasons, just because of the nature of the industry. But at the same time, I'm excited. And I put as a subnote here in my journal, quote unquote, fuck, I want to earn money and be in a place where I can support myself, invest, recreate, and support my friends and family, but most of all, have the time to spend with them. And I'm not sure that this will allow me to do that, but I guess I won't know until I try. Conclusion. I think my 20s are going to be my years of learning about myself, savoring happiness, and to live a passionate life. And this next part is kind of corny, but I wrote down that I want to emanate with happiness and passion so much so that the people around me just want to be their truest, purest, and most unapologetic and powerful version of themselves. Which kind of sounds corny again, but it sounds pretty cool. And, one more thing I'd like to put in here is that I'd like to have a garden someday because I like tomatoes and green onions. Be happy, dude. We're just a whole bunch of monkeys floating on this rock. Yeah, whether a higher power or a big higher being made us or put us here or not, we're right now we're like really intelligent, cognizant monkeys on this rock. And I'm like recording this, and it really doesn't matter in the broad scheme of things. But yeah, this water tastes pretty good though. Delicious. Here's to my 20s.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's what I.
All right, so a little life update. We are headed towards a new chapter. So this is kind of the preface, or the prelude to a new book called This Summer in Portland. So here we go. I'm excited, nervous, I'm hungry. Rawr. Hey, howdy y'all. My name is Isaac. I just thought to give a little bit of an introduction of this video. I knew from the back of my mind I had hundreds upon hundreds or maybe even thousands of gigabytes of footage of me that I really haven't touched in a while. So I went through my hard drive since 2019 at the start of my college years and compiled all of the footage with me included in it. And I thought to overlay a little bit of an audio snippet of a journal entry of mine. And the journal entry is about my 20s. Yeah, here's the just poke myself in the mouth. Here's my couple thoughts on it. So hope you enjoy or get something out of it. You don't have to enjoy it. You don't have to enjoy it. I'm sharing it nonetheless because we're a bunch of monkeys floating on this rock, and I'm gonna share whatever I want. So yeah. I had soup today. It was really good. It was like roasted bell pepper tomato soup with some sourdough bread from Costco, cream cheese, and some raviolis I got at grocery outlet with a little bit of avocado oil, salt, Parmesan cheese, and cracked pepper. Yeah. Just thought you should know that.